Well, I'm on a wider tour, but I actually really wanted to come to Headingley, not just because I'm a Rhinos fan, but actually I wanted to hear about the good work that the Rhinos are doing within the wider community of Leeds. And I've been incredibly impressed with the breadth and the depth of the work that they're doing.
And with that breadth and the depth of the work that they're doing, you'll know this as a Rhinos fan in the south of England. What do you think are some of the challenges to growing the sport of rugby league? Because most people, of course, see that as a northern sport.
Well, very much so. There is still that mentality that it's sort of kind of the M62 Beltway, and I think we need to get that beyond that. And actually, we are seeing a growth of rugby league down south. There's a team actually not far from my own constituency, so we are seeing growth in the sport. But I think actually the success of the Super League and the clubs within the wider rugby league structures can actually really drive that growth elsewhere in the country.
It's been really, really good. We met upstairs in the Lewis Jones suite, and Gary was speaking to her about the redevelopment of the stadium. And then we've just been down here listening about her engagement with the club, about being a fan and presenting the trophy. But just hearing all of the staff members explain what they've been doing day to day, and I think it was as much of a tool for Tracey to get to know a lot about what the foundation are doing, and it's been really great to hear that she thinks she's championing what the foundation do. And I think they really highlighted today the synergy between the foundation and the club, and how well we all work together. She seemed really positive and really encouraging, and it was great to hear her say about how great it is to get women and girls involved in sports that have usually been seen as a barrier. And it's nice now, I think, for tracing the line of work that she does, and for us at the foundation, that we no longer really see getting girls involved in rugby league of having barriers, because I think that the work that the brand does, the work that the club do, and the work that the foundation do, is we're getting to a point now where girls are absolutely loving rugby league and they can't wait to get involved. So for me, the best part of this season and the launch of the Super League era is that the motivation, the encouragement and the inspiration for those young girls coming through has never been as big as it is now. So with the work that we're doing in our 12 to 14 skills sessions, under 19s development programme, our academy and our women's team, I think rugby and women's rugby is in a really great place in Leeds.
I think she was wonderful. We talked to her about the magnificent work that the Leeds Rhinos Foundation and Leeds Rhinos as a club do in the community. We just do our little bit to try and make Leeds and the wider community a better place, and there's so many fantastic hard working people who work for the foundation. Some of my favourites being Lois Forsell. I think she's absolutely amazing, and every time I listen to what she's doing with women's rugby league and boys rugby league as well, I get inspired and motivated to go out and do it. And my role today was just to try and communicate what role the players do. It's not just about the 80 minutes that they spend on a pitch at the end of a week, it's what they're doing during the week. People like Ashton Golding inspiring young kids to live healthier lifestyles, Brett Delaney going into prisons and trying to educate people who try to reintegrate into society, and right through Richard Myler, who's supporting people who are struggling with a life in cancer, and we're doing some good stuff. It's really important to communicate that, but I thought what Tracey said as well was fantastic today. Some of the stats that she threw up around social isolation and mental health were amazing. 16 to 24 year olds are the people that find themselves most isolated, which is mind blowing. Because having done some work with Public Truth Commission Leeds this year, I know how much of a killer social isolation is, but I didn't realise it was happening in people so young. And I personally believe, and I'll get shot down for it, that a lot of that, and I think she believes it as well, is because of the social media, the smartphones and the disengagement from sport and society that modern technology brings. And I'm so happy. I could see it coming. I'm not a prophet, but I'm not on any social media at all. I never thought. It is a good thing, it is a good tool, but it's just a utility, and it's really important that we're careful with how we use it. It isn't a lifestyle, it's a utility, and we've got to treat it as a tool and a utility, and that's what I really took away from her today. She's a great ambassador for sport, and what a great minister she is. He's so proud, and Leeds Rhinos Foundation are the pillar of the community, and our motto is to change lives through sport, and we do that on so many levels. It's not just about going in teaching young kids to play rugby. We do things in dementia, as was mentioned, mental health, cancer. There's so much. We've got a great facility here at Emerald Stadium. We're rebuilding it. It'll hopefully, God willing, last us for another 50 to 100 years, long after I'm gone. And we'll keep being a pillar and a hub for the Leeds wider community to better themselves and be the best city in the country.
Yeah, and I mean a coup, exclusive, it's all them words. I mean, she's very enthusiastic, and obviously obviously a real keen supporter of what we're doing here at the club and the foundation, which is great to hear from somebody like her, and very, very keen on some of our quite groundbreaking projects. So yeah, a wonderful opportunity, great to showcase her in front of some of our big supporters as well. Let's hope it results in some support coming in some way or the other, but yeah, a great exclusivity. Yeah. And I got a real sense that she does get the whole issues, and it's really pleasing as well that she coming out with comments like, you don't have to play sport to be enthused or positively impacted by sport. So for me, I was very content that she gets the whole spectrum of what sport can connect with to help out on other agendas. So yeah, that's really, really positive to hear, and positive to hear that she talks amongst other departments around how sport can help them and vice versa. So yeah, let's hope that connectivity and collaboration pays off, and that's what we're about at the foundation as well here in Leeds. The staff, yeah, I mean it's great. They talk so passionately and genuinely about the work that they do, and what we should all take from that is that's them just talking about it. So when they're actually doing it out there with their customers and their clients, they're doing an absolutely brilliant job. I did take the message that we maybe need to champion even more what we do, and I take that seriously. But we are a foundation who does first and talks later. But yeah, I do think we need people to hear and see and embrace what those staff get up to on a much more regular basis.
Go out there and spread the word as well, because it's absolutely fantastic, and I really genuinely think that it's world leading. So well done, and keep up great work. Thank you.
It's been our vision, I think up to 2021, to be the world leading rugby foundation. I think with that endorsement we can say we're starting to get up there as world leading in any kind of sports foundation. So yeah, that's really, really nice to hear. We'll try and get her to put a signature to that quote.
What you're doing across all partnerships, with all partners, is phenomenally important. But actually, what it really demonstrates is that rugby league, I think, is probably the sport that really has its heart in the community. We know that sort of kind of other sports have really progressed into sort of kind of much more global kind of industries and entities in themselves. But actually, rugby league really retains that level of community support at its base. And you can see that from what Jamie's just said with the work that the guys are doing, in the community, and what everybody else here is doing on the panel, which we'll get to. I'll ask some specific questions in a minute. But the actual sort of kind of strength, I think, from sports clubs comes from that real understanding of its base, of its community, of its appreciation and recognition, and that it's by virtue of its support, it needs to put something back, and that it shouldn't take its support for granted. And actually, you're using your status as, I think, the world's greatest rugby league club to basically bring real hope and support to people that really need it most. So it's not just about taking some money from people coming through the gate to watch the guys and the girls in the future. It's actually about making sure that you continue that relationship going forward. And I think that's what everybody in this room should be incredibly proud of. So
other sports may be able to tap into literally money quicker. If they had a charity of a richer sport, then the chances are they're going to tap into money easier. But it proves to me that money helps, but it's not the only thing. It's about the people who are working in it, the communities you're working in, the brand that you're working alongside. And we certainly have known over the past 20 years, haven't we, what brand the Leeds Rhinos has brought to help in the city. So I was impressed at that comment. I mean, I'm sure she don't mind me saying she's a southerner herself. Yes, she's a Rhinos fan, but to hear from somebody like that an endorsement on this great game and what impact it has beyond the 80 minutes on the field is something we already knew, but it doesn't help hearing it again, and let's use that to get even better. Let's not rest on our laurels.